what would you choose if you were to pick between either in 2025 you make so much money like you've never made money before, or in 2025 you meet the love of your life? What would you pick and why? Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Layla, and on this channel I love to talk about personal development, and today I have a very special guest with me. Hi Silgi.
Hello.
And the reason why I have her here is because I just wanted to invite someone with whom I can talk about life in Korea, love in Korea, career in Korea, and ambition when it comes to women and how we want to live our life. So if you are interested in these topics, then keep on watching. Hi, Selgi.
Oh, thank you to pronounce my name correctly, finally.
I know. You guys, the funny thing is I always call her Anni. And then today, I finally said her name, and she was correcting me, saying, no, that's not how you say it. You should say Silgi. 𝗃𝗧𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
맞아.
Okay, thank you. All right, so welcome. Hi.
Oh, thank you.
How do you feel?
I'm very good. I'm a little bit nervous, but super amazing feeling. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. So the reason why I have her here is because she's one of my very close friends. Generally speaking, not just like my close friend in Korea, but my friend in general. And we've known each other since 2015.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 2015. Do you want to tell people how we met?
Yeah, but first of all, I'm really surprised that our relationship is more than almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years,
Oh my god,
yeah.
I think it's a good time to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's a good time to say goodbye. Stop it. It's a good time to celebrate.
Yeah. And say goodbye.
Okay.
Okay, it's all good. Anyway, met your Airbnb host at the time via the Facebook. So there's a community for travelers, and I'm a fan of the community. And one day she just posted a message that she's looking for someone who can guide her guest.
That was me, the guest.
In Korea. And that time I just came back from Malaysia, which is like, I'm trying to used to speak English that time. So I thought, oh, this is a good opportunity. And the impressive thing was that you speak Korean fluently.
No, I did not. My Korean was like super basic at the time. Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing. When you have the tendency to pronounce words very good, Korean people automatically think that your Korean is great when it's not always the case. But yeah, my pronunciation is 완전 좋아.
Right?
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, definitely, because my French is terrible, right?
Yeah, that's okay. We'll work on that.
Yeah, so that time I was working as a docent, the 𝗃𝗀𝗁, which is like Korean traditional. I thought maybe I can just guide some places, and I just accepted it.
That's how we met. Had a great time. And the funny thing about that story is that in 2015, when I came to Korea for the very first time, is also the time where I met two very pivotal people in my life. So I met you. You became like a very good friend. And then I met my Airbnb host, who eventually helped me get the job when I came back to Korea in 2020. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's...
We are still good friends, right?
Yeah, we're all still, all still good friends. So it just goes to show that you never know who you meet, and you never know the kind of impact that people would have on your life. So you've been a great friend, especially when I came back in Korea in 2020. Like, you helped me a lot. You've been, I would say, like the person that I would rely on the most. And of course, we spent time together and all that. So, come on. I have a tricky question to ask you. Let's say it's 2025 and you get to pick one thing. On one hand, it's, okay, you're going to make so much money like you've never made money before.
Wow.
Or, you see how excited you are.
I am.
Or number two is you get to meet the love of your life in 2025. What would you choose and why?
That is really tricky and mean question.
Yeah, you have to choose. I'm sorry. Nothing is free in life.
My personality, right? So normally, then in that case, I normally say both. So not only one, right? But maybe money.
Why?
I'm not the person always think money is everything or money equals happiness. But the point is, money can be one of the results. Show me that how I truly focused on my life, which means the career part. And also, I believe it can be one of the resources that put me in some situation to meet some certain level of people. So that means actually that also expand my life to meet more lovers.
Okay. So on one hand, money as like a form of success, been doing well in life, and at the same time, money will put you in circles where you can meet people who also have money. And okay, I see.
But the best way is as long as I can meet a lover who has a lot of money.
Of course,
And
that would be
also
like the
who's
pro.
definitely spend the money for me. Thankfully, that is the best option. But like even the guy has the kind of background, but also I want to be the similar level of that to meet that. I believe money also can be for me in the situation for that.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let me tell you how I would respond to that question. I feel like making money is something that's easy-ish, meaning that there are different ways to go about it, and you have a bit more control. But meeting the love of your life is something that's very complicated, and you need the help of God. If someone were to tell me, okay, we're gonna deliver that man to you on a platter, I will go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand and I respect it. I'm the person who manage the money is more difficult for me. Of course, I'm not saying like the meeting the rubber of relationship is more easy. Both are very complicated and also difficult.
Yeah.
But at least the money, if I focus on something and try to do something, then it should comes with that. I believe that.
Okay.
So it's much simpler than like the relationship.
Oh, I see. Because with money, at least you know what you're working on and you can see the tangible results.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. So we're different. And I like that. Now that we are talking about relationships, how do you feel about your... So just so you guys know, we are both in our 30s. How do you...
Oh my God.
No.
Ouch.
No, it's a good thing to be in your 30s. I feel like it's the
I
best
am very
years,
proud
right?
of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your current relationship status?
The relationship means not only the girls and guys, like just
Oh,
entire...
God. I am talking about relationship with men.
Men.
Men. 남자. How do you feel about your current relationship
Oh,
status?
so I'm just sorry to say that, but I have no relationship at the moment.
So you're single.
I am.
Okay.
And
How do you feel about that?
that's a very tricky question as well. But for me, some part, I'm so happy with that. And the other part is lonely. The point in Korea, actually, we have like very famous, I don't know whether I can say idiom.
Okay. Yeah.
But in my age, there are only 3 types of guys left.
Oh my God. Okay. Tell me.
So the first option is a guy who seriously has a problem.
Oh.
That's why none of people pick.
Okay. So the unwanted guy. Okay. Option number 1.
Number 2 is gay.
Okay.
So no option, right? Last one is the person who at least once get married.
Oh, he's been married, maybe have kids before.
Yeah, with a kids or without kids, but
Okay.
it's divorced.
Divorced. Okay.
So among 3, the best one, the better, not the best one, the better one is the last person.
The guy who's divorced. Okay.
Because we said that at least he got married, which means he at least had a success.
Like a successful commitment or like a previous relationship. Okay, I see what you mean.
So also that obviously we can figure out what was the problem before.
And then maybe you can fix it and
we
do
can
it
just
better.
try.
Okay.
In my age, actually, when I see my friend who raised the kids, especially in Korea, it's not easy to like bring your career with your like kid care.
Oh, okay. So childcare and then your career at the same time. It's hard to
It's
reconcile.
hard. So most of my friends who has kids, they are not working anymore. Not working at the company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not every people.
Like most of them
stopped
their career.
Yes.
Okay.
And so from the point of view, I'm so happy that I still can focus on my career.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, only less options left. Especially in Korea, we really care about the age. So the first time normally when we meet people, right?
Yeah, you
we
ask
normally
your age.
ask your name, how old, your age, family information.
Okay.
So that's...
Do you ask like what people do for a living?
Yes, as well.
Okay.
That's one as well, yeah. If I say my name, sorry, not my name,
Your
my age,
Okay.
then, like, we already put the levels, whether it's older than me or younger than me. So that's why even we are, for example, I met someone quite attractive, but we are hesitating about the age, for example, if there's some certain gap.
Okay. But that would be hesitation on his part if he's younger than you? Or hesitation on your part if he's older than you? Because I know you like younger men.
No, you should say that. Young, tall,
And
rich, handsome.
uh-huh.
Rich, handsome is one word.
Oh, yeah.
I always say it to her.
Oh, no, no mercy.
Anyway, yeah. Mostly the younger person always care about the people who is older than them.
So do you feel like, okay, so I read an article 2 days ago that says that in 2024, in terms of marriage, a lot of women married younger men. Yeah, than
In
usual.
Korea?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because maybe they're more advanced in their career and then the men look at it like, okay, that's some sort of a security to settle down with a woman who's older and maybe who has like more money or whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying they're gold diggers. I'm just saying that it seems to be a bit more common for young men to marry older women.
Oh, wow, that's very interesting.
I know, I wanted to send you that article and be like, okay, since you like young men, and that's good news.
Hey,
Okay, sorry.
not only me. I think you will also, right?
I don't know. The funny thing is I used to want a older guy, older than me, but then the older I get, I realize, okay, so then the older he needs to be. And I'm like, I don't want to be with a guy in his 40s or something. I'm not ready for that yet. So maybe I'll go with someone like my age or maybe younger than me. Most of my relationship were with guys younger than me.
Maybe just now I figure out maybe one of the possibility is because the marriage age in Korea is getting older.
That is true too.
So now in Korea, most of my friends, of course it's very personal information though, but my friends, they got married about 30s or something, around, which means like quite okay now. Even Korea, living cost is really expensive, right?
Yeah.
Including kids' education, everything. So even like guys also should be smart. Not should be, but they became smart.
Okay. Meaning like they need to also be with women who
Yes.
who have money and who can work and stuff.
At least they also would like to feel something like stable.
Okay.
That's why they're also looking for someone.
So everyone is basically looking for the best partner possible, which kind of makes sense. On one hand, you are happy with the fact that you're single because you don't have to sacrifice a lot and you get to keep your career. And then on the other hand, you're lonely because we all want to be in a relationship and have love and stuff. So in terms of society's expectations or your parents' expectations or even like your own expectations, how do you manage the whole being single? Like how do your parents feel about that? Do they say anything? Like,
The pressure you make.
yeah, do you have any pressure or?
Yeah, I still remember as yesterday when I just turned to 30s. In the Happy New Year to say my parents, I just made a call. And my father told me, okay, so you're 30, so you have to find the right husband. I said, what?
Happy birthday, Seogi. Now time for you to get a husband.
Not birthday, Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year,
I
okay.
was like, he never told that before, ever.
Oh.
Even when I was 20s. But when I just turned to 30s, he mentioned that I was like, what?
Okay, so the pressure is on.
Started, from the time.
Okay.
I want a kid. At least I need a kid. Then it's better to get a pregnant when I was young.
Okay. All right, so you are someone who has multiple job and stream of income, and you are probably like the hardest working woman that I know besides me. But we have that in common, like we're always busy, so even to meet each other, we have to look at our calendar and be like, okay, are you free that day? So I guess my question would be dating culture, like how you said you wanted to be intentional about like meeting a man. How do you go about meeting people when you're so busy? And I guess also my other question would be, how do men usually feel? So when you start dating them, how do they feel about the fact that you're so busy and that you're making money left and right? Does that create any tension in the relationship? I know that's 2 questions, but yeah.
I need to make a correction. I am not a busy person.
Hey.
I am not actually.
Okay.
That love is important, relationship is important. So I can put that one in my priority, which means I can manage my schedule. Because work is just work. Love is important.
Love is important. Okay.
Money is important too.
Okay.
In Korea, we have the Sogeting.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different to blind date. So there are 2 different ways. So one is like typical blind date.
Okay.
And the other one is Sogeting. So blind date is like family, especially parents, introduce you some people and you met the person. So already parents agree that introduce their kids each other.
Okay.
So that is more like
Because of the pressure from the
yeah,
parents.
more
Okay.
pressure. It is more casual. So the thing is comes from friends. So for example, like you say, I want to meet someone, and if you tell me some like kind of criteria,
Okay.
the list at least you are looking for, then I will search my network.
Okay. For the record, there
What?
was no Sogeting. You never introduced me to.
I
to anyone.
tried, but sorry, because I have sorry, my
But
relationship is
she
so
goes
narrow.
She goes on Sogeting a lot.
Shut up. Seriously, none of Sogeting was successful.
Let's just talk about 2024. All the Sogeting that you did, and she did a lot of Sogeting in 2024.
Not a lot, just hey.
Why didn't that work? What happened, generally speaking?
Generally speaking, I think it depends on the personality, but my personality is not a type of Sogeting, I think. So, what means? I just feel something weird, like to meet people with like checking some criteria and meet people and just repeat the same questions.
So it's like an
to
interview?
Figure out. Yeah, I just felt like that. Or maybe I couldn't get some chemistry from that. Of course, even I got some few. They didn't got chemistry too, so that's
Okay.
why we didn't connect it. But anyway, I'm not a fan of the application meeting as well, like Tinder such as other things, because when I look at their pictures and also some profiles, I just feel like I'm just choosing the product.
Ouch.
It's my personal.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
But of course, some of my friends, they even got married through that, like even the application or whatever it is, or sogeting. But I am not the person of that. So that's why in Korea we have term like
Yeah, I like that too. Like meeting
Yeah.
people naturally, like in real life, in real setting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just like people to miss from the community or naturally something like that. But sogeting, the reason sogeting that didn't go for me was maybe because of my personality.
When it comes to dating in Korea, at least in my own experience, it is a bit tricky. And just like you, I would prefer meeting people like in naturally. But then again, you have to go to activities, you have to go to different settings. So I do dance. But in my dancing community, the age is the people are too old, like way too
really?
old. So there's no way for me to use my hobby to meet people naturally. And at the same time, I cannot even get sogeting because my Korean friends, most of you guys are single women. So you're also like looking for your own guy. So I can be like, hey, I know you're looking for your guy, but can you look for my man too?
That's why.
So it's so weird.
So that's why even my match, I couldn't bring the match for you.
Exactly, because you have to take care of yourself first. And then another solution is the app, but just like you, when you go on apps, I don't use Tinder, but I use Bumble and I use Coffee Meets Bagel.
Wow.
But then again, it's like you said, it's like you're selecting a product and then you try to connect with someone, but you have nothing in common and you're trying so hard to build some sort of a connection so you can see each other in real life, and it's just so complicated. But anyway, there is something that I've discovered here, which are matrimonial companies. So basically people who are here to
The matching
help you
agency.
find a
Oh, I
husband.
see.
And I thought, okay, maybe I should try that. But then I realized, oh my God, I'm a foreigner. They have to do so many background check and they have no way to check my personal information. And then which Korean men would pay money to then end up being paired with a random girl, like a black girl, you know what I mean?
Maybe some guys maybe in
No,
the
I don't
membership
think
maybe
so.
someone like, oh, I'm okay with any layers or something.
Oh my God, I'm not sure. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave that alone. But I know you tried that. So how was your experience with those
So
agencies?
try means actually I didn't get the membership. I just initially had the interview with them, the agency people. They also asked me some of my background check and everything initially. 2 years ago, I was so lonely. I just considered to get the membership for that. So I tried 2 biggest company in Korea.
Oh wow, look at you going big. Okay, how much was it? Do you remember?
So there are great actually. There's different level. And the cheapest one is about 3 million Korean won.
Oh my God, 3 million for membership?
Yeah, and also there's a limit to meet.
So
To
how many
match.
match do you get with 3 million?
So 3 million within that. I'm not. Of course, every time it's changed. So
Yeah.
my memory isn't correct. But basically, if you get the membership, then you will have a chance to have 5 or 10 times sogeting. I'm gonna send you the profiles following the criteria.
Okay.
Then you can just check, including their photo.
Okay.
And then if you think it's okay, guys also saw your profile and it's okay.
Okay. Basically 10 chances
10
to
chances.
connect with someone. Okay.
And also that agency regularly have some event inviting some people to like a 𝗃𝗁𝗃𝗀 something.
That's actually even better. So then you can meet the person in real life and decide right there if you want to go on dates.
But I think that also some grade you have to get the membership for that, I think.
That's what I don't like about Korea.
Oh, you don't like Korea?
Yeah, I mean, there's this idea of segregating people based on their status. I've never been to those agencies, but I can tell, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I can tell that they most likely categorize people based on like,
exactly.
your background and how much money you make. So if you are a lawyer or if you maybe make a certain amount of money, you would only be able to meet people in that category, right?
Not in that category. Actually, if you pay more, then they can try to match you to get like high society people. Normally they do during the interview is like they check my appearance because the first impression is important.
Okay.
And also, of course, my annual income, my position, and my family background, whether I have to take care of my parents or not, whether they are prepared for that and the rest of their life or not. And also the house, whether real estate situation, whether I have my own, where I am from in Korea, which part of as well.
Yeah.
And my parents information, which means not in the real estate or like my parents.
Oh, they're still
job,
married. What kind of job they have?
Yes. You know, they check everything, every single information you have. And also in the last stage, they ask me like what kind of guys I'm looking for. So for example, if like university, the degree is important in Korea too. If you have a like bachelor's degree, for example, or like diploma, then people also ask you whether you are okay only looking for at least minimum bachelor's degree or diploma.
Okay.
Something like that. Also, are you okay? If, for example, if you have some age, then they also ask to expand your options. Are you willing to have the guy who was divorced or twice divorced or whatever?
Twice divorced.
Who knows?
No, we don't want a twice divorced man. I'm sorry. You are bad news.
Also, like if you are okay about the divorced people, then are you okay with the case or not?
Okay.
The kind of information too. So let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
When I interviewed, like I shared my information, and the last stage she asked me like, what kind of guys I'm looking for. I said, as I mentioned, tall and rich handsome, of course. But among that, for example, if you share some few options, then she asked you, what would you put the most priority among that?
Okay.
So based on this, she's trying to match me. She asked me like, so you're looking for, because you never get married, so you are looking for only a single? So I said, no, I'm okay, even divorced. So she certain her
so
eyes,
happy?
not her eyes so shiny.
Because it's easier for her then to find you someone.
And then she mentioned that, okay, so you are looking for a guy divorced but no kids, and I'm okay with the kids even.
And she's like, oh my god.
Yeah, but seriously, I'm okay as long as the guy is really nice. Okay, okay to me that. And she was like, where were you? Something like that. Where were you, my precious? Something like that. So, okay. She was so happy.
She's, what? This girl doesn't have any standards?
Yeah. Because she mentioned with some certain confidence, you can get married.
You can get married. So why didn't you go forward with it?
That's a good question. So in the last stage, I realized that, of course, I want to get married. But for now, I'm just looking for someone that I can love. Matching agencies, their goal is to match couple and to get married.
So basically, if you meet a guy there, the expectation is that you would get married within, what, 6 months?
Even
a year?
3 months, for example.
Oh.
But it depends on people, of course. But
So that was 3 years ago, right? Now, how do you feel? Do you still want to...
Maybe a good option for me now.
Do you want to maybe reconsider and go back?
Not now, but maybe yes.
Maybe later.
Maybe if I get 40, end of 40 or something. Maybe.
Oh my god. Okay, end of 40. That might be a bit too late already.
No way.
Yeah, like end of 40s, come on. And then I want to pivot a little bit from dating life to more of like life in Korea in general. I know we were laughing a lot, and I know your personality, I know your life and everything. I guess my first question would be, are you happy with the life that you have created so far?
I love it. I love it so much. Always saying to my friends that I love my life, especially my age. I know what I like or dislike, or what kind of things make me more fun, or where I can find it. So entire information that I brought from my past experience makes me more fun. And of course, I have more money than before.
Yeah, you do. And that helps. It's more comfortable. The life is more comfortable.
Yes.
And you know yourself better and you have more confidence.
So I just feel like I become more independent person.
Okay.
Yeah. I love my life.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, because I feel like happiness, at least for me, is like my number one value. And whatever it is that I do, I want to feel happy. Like I want to wake up every day and be happy with my life and with the progress that I'm doing, etc. So the reason why I'm asking that is because there's this term called 𝗂𝗏, which is
Oh yeah, Joseon hell, yeah. I know that.
Korea is considered like hell for some young people, and they're having such a hard time. And we know about the suicide rate, we know about like people struggling, the economy and everything. It's good to know that you are thriving. And how do you feel about people who feel like there's no hope in Korea? And
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So when I was 20s, I always dreamed. My dream was just living outside of the Korea and just die there. No, seriously. So maybe that time my emotion also like connected to health because I thought Korea is not much chance for women.
Okay.
There's a glass door, some certain.
Okay.
But for sure, actually, it become better, of course, right?
Okay.
But and also like I have no confidence that I can get a proper job, which means proper job in Korea means like a big company. Samsung, LG, or something like that. Otherwise, there's normally the culture, like people think your life is failed. You couldn't get a proper job, which is like big company, global company, then your life is end. So normally we do have that kind of mindset.
Okay.
That's why also like young people call that 헬조선.
Okay.
So when I was just graduated university, there were two things that in my mind.
Okay.
First one is I have less confidence that I can get a job in the proper company.
Okay.
Second is the time my English terrible. I always dream a job, like I dream some place, some position to use like foreign languages.
Okay.
It looks so cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
For me.
It does look cool. Yeah.
So that's why I decided to go outside
Of Korea.
of Korea.
What was your major in college?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. So I have a double degree. One is a philosophy, it's
Okay.
main. So the another one is international trade.
International trade. Okay, that makes sense with what you're doing today. And I'm so glad that you're talking about this because I want to pivot the conversation into like career. You are someone who have worked abroad and you are someone who has worked for international companies like outside of Korea, so inside Korea. How did that happen?
As I mentioned earlier, I have no confidence that I can get a proper job in Korea because one of the reason like young people say 헬조선 is we say the spec.
Oh, the
Spec means spec means what kind of university, which level of university you graduated, and also where you live. If you are living in capital Seoul, then that's a good benefit as well. But if you are not in Seoul, then most of jobs in Korea, Korea, especially Seoul, is a mega city.
Yeah, the best jobs are in
About
Seoul.
70% of population or jobs are focused in Seoul or around. So if you luckily get a job in Korea, in Seoul, then you should move it into Seoul, right?
Into Seoul, yeah.
The living cost is really expensive. That's why also people say that it's 헬조선 because living cost is not easy. So I have no confidence for that. That's why I rather actually from the Korean society. So the first country I chose is Malaysia.
How old were you when you went to Malaysia?
25 or 6.
And your parents were okay with you like giving up everything?
Of course, like my personality is like very independent. And once, of course, my parents, especially my father, is very
conservative. Okay.
Yeah, I just booked a ticket, which is one-way flight ticket.
Oh my!
And just inform my parents, hey, I'm going.
And you didn't have a job at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so picture this, right? She's in her 20s. She wants to run away from Korea. She buys a plane ticket. She goes to Malaysia, and she has no job.
Exactly.
That's my friend.
I am so proud. Anyways, I went to Malaysia, but the reason I went to Malaysia is I supposed to go to Japan as an intern for 2 months, but the time the earthquake in Japan happened, so everything was cancelled. But the government like informed us, at least you can speak English, even I couldn't. They can consider to send me another countries.
Okay.
So so that's why even I couldn't speak proper English, but I just sent my...
So you pretended to speak English and you sent your application.
At least I can try.
I love that mindset because usually, because us women, we always want to meet all the criteria before we apply for something, for a job.
That's not
but sometimes you don't have to, even if it's 50%, 70%, just send it. You never know.
Wherever I go, even I don't know their language, I can survive. I believe myself.
Wow.
I believe.
So you get to Malaysia by yourself without a job.
No pressure at all. And I thought this is a good chance that I can start my English speaking
without any pressure to be
under
perfect.
pressure. And also the time actually, so after 2 month internship done, I came back, but I left my luggages there.
In Malaysia.
saying that I'm gonna come back.
You're gonna come back. Okay.
But my parents didn't know that.
Okay.
I tried to search the job in Google. Just put the keyword Malaysia, Korean, Japanese.
Jobs. Okay.
And luckily, I figured out few. I applied.
Okay. So
And then
right.
the interview place, I went there and I say, hey, in the second interview place, I said, my English is not good, but you okay with that? You know, how lovely they are was, you are speaking English, so you totally okay.
Nice.
Start my career from that.
Okay.
And from that, I only worked for the international companies. Not only, but I tried some Korean typical companies. It didn't work to me well. Because my personality doesn't suit the typical Korean society.
Okay. So I was gonna ask you something because I've worked in Korea, Korean company, and people have this understanding that okay, if I work in Korea in an international company in Korea, the experience is going to be different from working in Korea in a typical Korean company. Do you agree, or do you feel like it doesn't matter if it's international or if it's Korean, as long as it's based in Korea, as long as it has Korean employees, the vibe will still be the same about it?
That's an interesting question. So, my answer is actually you put another category. There are 3 categories.
Okay.
One is, as you said, typical Korean company. The other one is foreign company who has an office in Korea.
Okay.
The last one is like foreign company as well, but has considered as a foreign company itself. For example, there are IBM, which is a global company, right? But they are already localized in Korea. Even it's a global international company, but people are already most of Korean, which means Korean culture.
Okay.
The company I'm working for is foreign company, but also not fully localized, which means tough,
Okay.
tough a bit, but okay.
Even if the employees are Korean
Yeah,
employees.
it's Korean.
But you have that foreign culture based on the mother company
Yes.
and their culture.
more like their like characters, yes.
Okay.
So even like Google, for example, it is a part of Korean company under just international name. Korea is like isolated country, right? It's like the island. Because of that, I think we couldn't diverse cultures before.
True.
So now I think we are in the corner of that, in the space, in the process of that.
Yeah, it's getting
Some part
better.
of-
It's getting more open. I think Hallyu helped because people got no, seriously, because people got interested in Korea and they want to come and see what's happening in Korea. And because a lot of people are coming, Koreans are like, who are these people? Why are you coming to our countries? And then I guess with more time, more tourists come, more diversity kind of appears. And then I believe Korea is now realizing that, hey, so maybe we need to welcome more foreigners and have people come and help us build this country in the future. I feel like the mentality and the attitude, everything is just getting better and better. And that's a good thing because I like Korea and I want Korea to be more open. So we're like almost end of, because we're in sales, so we're end of quarter 1.
Yeah.
Quarter 1 is about to be over.
always
How do you
number.
feel about your first quarter of 2025, like in general? Are you satisfied?
Always no satisfaction. I think.
Hey. Okay.
As a sales,
Can always do better, right?
Yeah, we always. But entire so far so good. But especially I'm really looking forward about this year. I feel like so many things gonna be happen, which means good way.
Yeah, okay.
So yes, I look forward to that too. And also, I know now even last year Korea we had so many things happened, unexpected things happened.
Yeah.
So from the point of view, now we had a hard time and we are just to get going through it. I believe so many good things gonna be happen this year.
Okay.
Personally and also Korea entirely.
Okay, so you're excited about like how...
I'm very excited.
Okay, I can't wait to see. I don't know if I'll be here to see everything that's going to happen and unfold for you, but I'm pretty sure you're going to share with me. And I guess I came back earlier, right? I was supposed to come at the end
Yeah,
of the...
like just off the record. Last year when she informed me that she's gonna leave this country and she said that she's gonna come back. So in the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
I filmed the video that if you not come back, your middle name gonna be changed to Kimchi.
Kimchi.
I was so mean. But
I came back.
swelled.
Yeah.
Swelled. And I was like, okay. And like even only 3 months, right?
Yeah, 3 months.
In
Only
3 months, you
3
just
months
came
later,
back.
I came back.
So I just feel because she went like long vacation and just came back.
And then I came back. You can take me out of Korea, but you cannot take Korea out of me. I guess that's what I would say. But yeah, no, it was very nice. Thank you so much for coming. And so I guess I will wish you success in your endeavors. And I hope that as far as like your businesses and your work, that everything goes well, that you keep on making more and more
thank
money.
you so much.
And I hope that you meet someone, aka
yeah.
the love of your life, hopefully.
Thank you
yeah.
for so many good wishes for me.
No, you're welcome. Anything that you want to share maybe before we end this interview?
I'm just a little bit worried because it's my personal opinion. So please understand, I'm not representing entire Korean people.
No, she's not. This is just her opinion. Absolutely. But yeah, but thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so
All
much. I
right,
enjoyed a lot.
guys. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!